All right, we got 5:30. Kelly.
5:30.
The pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Jenny David,
Here.
Roger Mayhew, Charles Wiltie,
Here.
Brenda Simmons,
Here.
Craig Scott.
Here.
Item 2, approval of the agenda. Any additions or corrections, commissioners? Item 3, public comment. This is for agenda items only. I know you guys are here for second public comment, okay?
Yes.
Any public comment on agenda items? Any on the phone? Appointments, I don't believe we have any. Item 5A, discussion items, cyber insurance quote. That was on our iPads, and then we also got an email from Tim on that. Did you guys all have an opportunity?
Email?
Yeah, there was an email on it as well. The quote is for the total is $10,972. The email was related to the increase, the slight increase from last year to this year.
It was actually quite a bit increase, wasn't it?
So there's a certain percentage.
25% or something.
Oh, that's.
No, it wasn't that much.
Substantial.
29% higher than last year.
Oh, was it that much? I didn't think it was that much. Let me pull up the email. But it's something we have to have.
We only have one bid on that?
That's-
I think
Yeah, I
it
got it.
was almost $3,000 over than last year. 30%.
That's almost 30%.
I think that's what it was.
Where is it? Document corrections, Lieutenant, Committee of the Whole.
That's a
Cyber insurance quote.
$2,450 increase.
Yeah, you're right,
over last year,
2450.
29%.
You're right, Commissioner Wilson, 29% higher than last year because of an industry-wide increase in claims. Fortunately, we have not experienced any incidents to date. We are required by the state court system to carry cyber insurance. Funds are budgeted for the expense.
Body put it out there for quotes.
We did last year.
Kelly, do you know anything about that?
Can we find out more information on that?
It's because of the increase. If we could get another quote.
Well, he said something about a
Commissioner,
lower quote there last week.
Commissioner Simmons, raise your hand.
On this insurance, can't remember if I'm on that committee or not. When's it gone out for bid last?
I don't, we have to find that out. I know we're in a contract. We did all of that. Steve Old came and met with us. I think Brad and I was on the insurance committee last year.
Did anybody else come in?
Brad, I don't recall. I don't want to give you any information on that. This is something that is fairly, Karen, maybe you know about it, the cyber insurance that was brought to us last year, I think. Is that correct?
I think we had more than one bid,
I don't recall.
because I know that it's a big concern of yours, always staying with the same insurance company. I think Tim did put it out for bid at the time, Brenda,
I thought so
and
too.
it was awarded to Walt.
Was this the lowest bid?
I believe it was, and don't quote me, because that was a year
I
ago.
won't quote you, I promise.
Don't quote me, it was a year
Yeah.
ago,
It won't make the paper.
but I do know Tim put it out for bid. Tim did put it out for bid.
I don't think it'll make the paper.
I will get more information. When does he want this? When does this have to be approved by? Was there a deadline on this? I don't think he gave us one.
I don't think.
Obviously, our questions are if we put this out for bid.
When will he be back? You know, Kelly?
30th. After Memorial Day.
Commissioner David, I have one more.
After-
Yes, go ahead.
How long have we been having this policy?
This is
Obviously-
something new. That's what I had just said. I thought to Karen, I thought it was new last year. I thought it was brought to us. Do you remember, Commissioner Scott? It was brought to us.
Yeah, it was
Something we didn't have that we needed to,
a couple of recent years, yeah. Yeah. This
it is
cyber-
fairly new, something we need,
This cyber stuff.
Yeah.
Going on.
Yeah.
and that is required by the state to carry.
That's a big increase.
Oh, Tom would like to
Oh.
speak up.
Tom, go ahead.
Might know something.
I'm sorry, as the host, I can't raise my hand.
We talked about that today.
Yeah, so this will be the third year that we've had the cyber liability insurance. I didn't realize that you guys didn't have a lot of information in your iPads, so I talked to Craig an hour or so ago. But the first year it was actually $10,767. The second year, which was just last year, was $8,387. But I don't know what the coverages were for it. But I can tell you that I did not put this on the website for RFP.
You didn't?
I did not. This is through Diebold's. I don't know if Tim reached out to other companies, but I don't ever recall putting this on the website for RFP. It is required by the courts to have, and it's not a bad thing to have in our nature of business.
Do you know when this one runs out?
The quote was 1 year from Diebold's. Last year, the invoice was dated 5/17/22.
Oh,
So in that quote though, doesn't that quote in your iPad say valid for X amount of days? I thought it did.
Typically they do. Like 20 days.
you don't remember any other quotes on this? I remember Diebold coming in and talking to us about this, Tom.
So the first year we got a quote from Travelers. You guys
Okay.
adopted that resolution. Travelers rescinded. They did not want to take on any new customers. So then we went with a company called Beasley, and that was the $10,767. I don't know who we went through last year, but looking at Diebold's invoice, the policy number is different. Both invoices under transactions say new business. So I'm thinking we must have had somebody up. We have somebody currently, or as of yesterday. But I don't know who we're through right now.
I guess I'm confused. You don't think this is through Diebold currently?
It's through Diebold, but just like you go through Diebold, but you get who they
Oh.
go through. Like,
Okay.
That's what they call, they carry NODE. NODE.
Mhm.
ODE.
This increase is pretty substantial, Tom. You see that?
it is, but not compared to the first year. You paid $10,767 the first year, but I don't know what the coverage limits are on what we have right now for the $8,000. But
What were the-
looking
I'm sorry, go
looking at what we had the first year and looking at that quote today, they look very similar for the coverage limits.
ahead. Over the last 3 years, has there been any incidents reported?
No,
Is there anything you're recommending from us here?
I'm not gonna I don't have anything to recommend. No, I don't know when the current policy expires. I just know when Diebold's invoice was dated.
Kelly, can you find that out for us?
I can.
Quotes valid for 30 days, starting on May 11.
So that'll take us through 6/11. So we have time.
Or 30 days, 6/10.
Huh?
Because 3 days in May.
6/9. 6/9. We got time.
Yeah, still.
Any other questions, guys? More information to come on that? Commissioner Scott, did you have anything else?
I'm trying to look at some old minutes to see if we addressed it at a certain time last year, right around now, but I don't see anything. No, I don't have anything.
Item 5B, jail medical expenditure trend. Did you guys get that graph on your iPad?
Yeah.
Was there any questions on it, comments? Commissioner Scott?
Let's pull this up and switch pages. So,
The graph was broke down for
Yeah.
total and Ogemaw.
huh?
Fiscal years, there's a
Oh,
total fiscal year
total.
2021, 2022, 2023, and then for Ogemaw fiscal year 2021, 2022, and 2023.
Right, right. Well, yeah. It runs pretty much average, but then there are spikes.
It's fairly consistent.
It's nice seeing this graph.
It is nice.
Commissioner Simmons?
I'd have to take some time with this first I looked at it.
Sheriff, do you have anything? Did you have an opportunity to look at this graph, this trend?
I have a
Oh,
question.
sorry, you didn't have an opportunity to, you guys haven't seen this? Yes,
David, is this something that's just brought to us, time to time, or is there a
No, we've been-
concern brought up that?
we've been following this because in the previous years, we were going with an agency. And now we're going with a private. And just to see the trend and the cost to follow it.
Yeah, no,
Because there was gonna be a substantial savings with going the way that we chose to go. So just doing the comparison and dotting our i's and crossing our t's.
Good.
It's like there's definitely some spikes in some of these months.
I have a comment to make.
Go ahead.
When you look at this, we don't know how many people were in the jail at that time, so really these figures don't say too much to me.
Well, the cost,
Well, I understand, but was the cost, let's say for November, was that cost for one patient? Was it a cost for?
I believe it's a total,
patients?
huh?
You see,
It's for, it's for the total for there's the color graphs for the total of the cost, and then there's just for Ogemaw.
and I understand, but how many people from Ogemaw were in then? Was it one person? Or was it 30 people? I have no.
Well, we didn't ask for that information. We asked for the total expenditures.
Well, it's kind of, in my opinion, I think it's kind of useless without you knowing how many were in the jail at the time.
This is from the medical
I understand what it's from, yes.
contract. We're not charging, they don't charge us,
They don't charge us per
Correct me.
patient, they just charge us a set fee.
Oh, gosh.
No, this is for, there is a set fee.
There is a set fee on top of it, then there's
This
prescriptions.
is all medical expenditures, not just service. So, I think your population isn't gonna be that big a graph change here either. I've been watching the reports. I don't see, I haven't seen where we had huge spikes in the population. The sheriff-
Just monitoring this and again, seeing if the direction that we took is saving us as much as we had originally thought, and again, just monitoring things. Do you guys have any concerns?
Concerns, it's exactly what we talked about before. Just a snapshot of where we're at up to this current point. So it's just good to analyze the cost over the course of the years. We are getting 60 more days of coverage through this current contract, which is about sweat days.
There's staff, two extra days per, or so many hours per week,
So
or
many hours per week. So
Yeah,
over the previous contract, you're getting a lot more hours out of this contract.
but see, I don't know any of that stuff.
right, because they
So
weren't on
this
board.
is meaningless to me.
Other than just the overall costs, costs seem to be pretty consistent over it with both of them, so how you look at what you're getting.
When did you switch over to the contract thing?
Oh, boy,
Last year.
Fiscal year.
Last year,
at least.
yeah, the nurse,
Last fiscal
we're going with we're going with an agency, correct? You guys were going with an
No,
agency?
TMD or whatever it
year.
is.
When TMD,
Yeah, we've been with them
For
for
years
at
previous.
least 3 years.
the first year, did we transition halfway through the fiscal year?
No,
No, it was the first budget cycle that we put together for that, put in place, so that would have been 21, 22.
and the nurse for that, you guys really liked the nurse from that agency, and she went independent, basically,
Yes, she created her own LLC
correct?
along with her husband, and then they came together with a proposal, which was less than the previous company we were with, plus gave us extra coverage hours to work in.
When they originally brought this to us, it did look like there was gonna be I'm gonna be fair here. It did look like there was supposed to be a substantial amount of savings. I want to, a lot. It doesn't look like the savings has been as, maybe as great as what we had planned, but again, there's more coverage. We haven't heard any issues or concerns.
The numbers will be up somewhat from COVID days as it came up, but they're not substantial spikes, but the numbers are up because there are more people being watched. This is counteracted in by changes in laws where less people. The numbers are up slightly. And you just never know with the population what they're helping.
Questions, Commissioner? We just wanted to make sure, again, that the costs are on track and definitely not any more than what they were previous.
Who made the graph?
That came through to us all.
Okay. Well, I think if you guys supply some data for population wise, he can make a graph to show population month by month, so.
We already do the 80, so it's monthly populations.
Can you show a graph?
Yeah, that could be broken into a graph.
Do that and
So,
we'll show that, we can
Yeah.
show that, you know, how, if there's huge spikes in that, I don't see it, but
yeah,
only
it's not
spike-
huge spikes, but they're increased from that.
Yeah.
It's like,
towards seasonal, you get spikes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
October is, for FY 23 for Ogemaw is about the only one I see is October. The rest are pretty much steady.
Our total.
You know, for FY 23, yeah, the only
Yeah.
spike I saw, but I didn't see September and,
but with that graph, then you come and ask a question. The first thing that I would go back and research on that is that. it's work. That there's a- so, I don't see if that corresponded, that might have something to do with that spike. But that's what the graph is for, so you can see those type of things.
so that's the only thing I say, I mean, it shows pretty consistent going through after December, 22, except for April. But that was in 22 also. But there's a lot of unknowns there, like, no, like, was there one incident that really spiked it up? Or was it 15 that spiked it up? And that's not on this graph. And I'm not aware of that because I wasn't here October, November, so I'm not aware of it. That's all I'm saying.
You're good? Good, guys?
Good.
On to item C, sheriff vehicle purchase. We received a email from Kelly on the grants. Did you guys all receive that and have an opportunity to look at it? Did you see your email? It's grant, there's 3 grants. Grant one rescue / seasonal truck for $60,000 with USDA paying $33,600 and Ogemaw County paying $24,600. Grant 2 patrol vehicle / Tahoe. $68,000 with USDA paying $35,300 and the county paying $32,700. Grant 3 patrol vehicle / Tahoe. $68,000 with USDA paying $23,500 and the county paying $44,500. This grant reimbursement was reduced due to depletion of USDA grant funds available at the closing of the grant. Total cost of 3 vehicles, $196,000, USDA reimbursement of $92,400, and the county portion, $103,600.
Are these 3 vehicles we already have?
These were all
Can
done,
you guys come on up here?
these
we'll
were
make
all
sure-
done in August of last year.
Right, thanks.
So everybody can hear.
That's when we've had them since, so.
Which 3 vehicles are we directly talking about?
You got one? Those 3 grants, number 1 is the pickup truck.
Yep.
Number 2 is a Tahoe, and number 3 is a Tahoe.
And how many Tahoes do we have?
We have those, well, that's the
It says patrol vehicles.
3, yep, so those are both patrol vehicles.
So how many total are out there for patrol vehicles?
Oh, shoot. I wish. I would-
I'm talking about the Tahoes, not total patrol vehicles. How many?
There's 4 Tahoes.
On patrol,
Yes, there's 4 Tahoes.
are they all 2023s?
No. The first 2 were 2022s.
So is this information you had requested, Commissioner Scott? I think you asked for this.
There's somewhat current list. I don't know when that was.
The pickup 2023?
2023 on the pickup, 2020, yeah.
It is 23 model year.
So the pickup came out of, I was looking at the budget, the pickup came out of this budget cycle.
Mhm.
2 Tahoes were paid out of last budget cycle,
Which 2 Tahoes are we talking about?
the last 2 under the USDA. That bill came in before September 30th.
So it's FY 21-22.
That's when these two grant Tahoes came in
Yeah.
and the bill was paid for, correct?
Okay,
So that audit was closed out
right.
that budget year. So this year, now we've got 92,400 that's received as revenue under USDA grant for this budget cycle.
So there was no USDA grant on that Tahoe that's sitting out there right now for the corrections, correct?
Correct. That was being purchased out of the commissary fund.
Questions? Commissioner Scott, you,
Well, as they explained, the two Tahoes acquired in 22 were bought through the my deal with USDA's shared money. So, at that point in time, they took an Explorer that was on the line and stripped it down to use in the jail. When we approved the budget line in the commissary back in January, they ordered another vehicle. Now the sheriff's been in to explain that they missed a step in that. That's fine, but it was set aside for that. Commissary can be only used for inmate welfare. Inmate welfare, related welfare. So it's well within the definition of what commissary can be used for. That capital expense was put in the budget. I went back and looked at the YouTube of the meeting and it was all explained and we all approved it. Why that budget line is put in there.
we approved what exactly?
We approved the budget line of capital expense into the commissary budget. There was not a capital expense line in there before. So that's what we approved in the second and the first quarter adjustments in January. Now, the sheriff's office took that as a green light because a car was discussed about it. And, it's just, we didn't take a vote on it. The sheriff has apologized for missing that step. And the car's gotten. So,
You have anything, Commissioner Wiltie?
I've been very adamant of, my stance on this. Obviously, again, the sheriff, they said that they needed a vehicle for the jail that was a little more efficient to use for the jail. There's a reason we have the commissary funds are used for the jail. I do understand, I think we all understand greatly, this topic has been talked about for weeks, that there's been 2 steps that have been missed. I'm very confident that we won't see that happen again. It's nothing intentional by the sheriff. Again, the vehicle is going to be used for the jail. It's coming out of commissary funds. We need to pass this. We have the money for it. Again, for the jail from commissary funds. We need to approve this vehicle and move on to things that are very important for the county. This is important, but we have a lot bigger things. We don't need to make any more problems out of this. I really strongly feel we just need to make sure we accept this, we move forward, we've all learned. Let's move on.
Commissioner Simmons? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, how many miles you get with a van? How many miles you get with Explorer? And how many miles per gallon you get with Tahoe?
Off the top of my head, I would be just giving you estimates. If we'd have asked that question before, we could have got you mile breakdowns based on.
Well, I'm asking
those
it
type of
now and we're
things.
not voting on it tonight, so maybe next commissioner meeting you can have it.
What do we currently have to transport? What do you
Have a
transport
van.
inmates? Hang on.
So
What
you
do you
have,
currently-
you have the three big vans. So we have the 2 vans that were part of it, then the one we found from the military. And then currently we have one of the Explorers over there that they're using.
There's currently an Explorer over there.
There currently is. Yeah.
That was a plan initially, was
That was
to
to
move
put
that
one
Tahoe over there and put that Explorer over there. You have an Explorer there now?
There's an Explorer that's being utilized right now just for longer transports for gas savings.
Is that Explorer old? Is it?
No, it was a midline. Well, at 40-some thousand miles on it.
So what's gonna happen to that if this Tahoe,
Well, when we learned that commissary can only be used for the jail, the Tahoe is gonna go back to the jail and we would have to look at bringing that Explorer back.
The Explorer, four-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, what?
It's a patrol package, so it does not have four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive.
It's all-wheel drive?
I don't have any further questions. I believe Commissioner Simmons has a few. If you can get with them and get your
I will.
questions addressed. Thanks for providing that information.
Mhm.
Opiate, you guys might want to stay. I don't know if you want to stay right here. Opiate Settlement Advisory Committee, I guess.
We'll put it on the. For a question then next week.
I don't, I vote no, but you still had some more information. It can be added to the agenda next week in the meeting.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, the only issue that I would bring up is that it is sitting over there, so we're gonna need to figure out something to do with it. The dealership is waiting.
Thanks, guys. Opiate Settlement. Oh, did you have more? I'm sorry.
Yeah, what correspondence have you had with the dealerships?
I'm sorry.
The Vehicle's been here.
The correspondence with the dealer,
You know,
Just
be either
updating.
verbal or written or,
updating him on the status of payment, basically, is what the correspondence has been. So we've been waiting for approval to send the check.
all right. Okay, that's all.
Anything else, Commissioner Simmons? Opiate Settlement Advisory Committee update.
Want to talk about the scanner before the committee, so they don't have to get up and leave?
It doesn't matter. Would you guys like to talk about the scanner?
We need to talk about the scanner.
Well, we had asked, the last we had talked about it, it was gonna go for RFPs. Has that happened? Where are we at with that?
I believe it's going out for RFPs, so we're waiting for the response for RFP.
So it's been sent out or it hasn't been?
It is out.
It is out.
I've talked with Tom, it is out, it'll be out till, I think, June 11th or 12th or something like that.
Yeah.
So we don't have any more information on that.
No, we're waiting for the responses for RFPs so we can bring that to the board
Okay,
and get a response on that.
I'd just like to make a comment on that. I had asked on it just because obviously, you know, we have the funding for it.
what are we're talking about the
For
jail scanner? Okay, yep.
We have the funding for it and we all know that, we all agreed unanimously that it's something that we feel we should use.
Yep.
So we need to make sure we're, you know, moving this forward, but if it's out for RFPs,
Yeah.
that's all I needed to know.
So the next thing they'll do is to bring those RFPs and
Move forward.
absolutely, thanks.
Thank you.
Opiate Settlement Advisory Committee update. Kelly, you have the floor. Can you come up here so everybody can hear you?
Sure. I sent emails out last week and I got 10 responses of people who want to be on the committee. I'm just waiting for Tim to come back to finalize like a date that would work for the first meeting.
How many emails did you send out?
Probably 30 or so. They're pretty good. We got some from my Michigan, some from the schools, a few employees here. And then 2 applications of just citizens online.
So how many do we have total? Right now?
10,
What was the deadline for the response?
May 30th, I
Oh,
said.
you said that, I'm sorry.
And then I emailed Mike Bowers because I thought he said he wanted to be on it,
I'm
but
sure,
he
yes.
didn't email me back. So I'm just waiting to hear from him. So then that'll be 11.
Yes.
Okay, I'm assuming he did. I'm pretty sure he said it before, but I needed it. Yep, and then we'll kind of go from there. I don't know if it's gonna be meeting quarterly or what, but just to start getting the committee going so we can get the funds for, or the approval for the scanner and everything.
Yeah, we already agreed to definitely go forward with the scanners.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
There'll be more to come on that. You'll keep us updated?
Yep.
Any questions for Kelly?
I would just suggest that right off the bat, because I wanted to be on it. I can't.
Yep.
You know, I would like to see us meet, you know, consistently, at least monthly, right off the bat. We have this money there and we should try to spend the money we have right now to make the best moves for the county.
Those committees figuring out what our needs are for the county. Exactly. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
F, High Bank Subcommittee. Commissioner Wiltie, I think you brought this to the table.
Yeah, I talked about it last week. I just wanted to bring it up again. Again, you know, I can't state enough, especially for my area, Mills, Churchill, a lot of businesses in the area, creates a lot of revenue for their businesses. A lot of our county residents, state residents, out-of-state residents use the high banks. It's a complete asset to our county. We have people that are willing to get involved to help us maintain it for years and years to come. I'd be more than willing to be the chairman on it. And, you know, start a real strong group. I know the Boy Scouts would like to be involved. Owner of Troll Landing has expressed interest. Spoke with Mills Township at our meeting last Tuesday. They plan to continue to maintain it. You know, for example, the wood that's broken there, Dave Ryan, we have a guy who owns a local sawmill. He cuts the wood for us, no charge. So we already had some things in place, but I just think we got a really good group of people that we could put a real good committee together and really do some good things out there. It's just a huge asset to our county. And I just really feel it's important that we retain ownership.
Kelly, did Tim, we talked at the meeting last, I think it was the last meeting or meeting before about the liability cost. Did Tim get any facts or figures to you?
But I can ask. him.
Okay,
I know
and
Monday.
because some residents had some questions about that, exactly what it costs us. Anything else on that, Commissioner Wiltie?
No, that's it.
Opinions? Do you have any, Commissioner Simmons? Commissioner Scott?
I think Tim said that this falls under the umbrella of the county. As far as liability insurance.
Have we heard anything on the other property there at the Field of Dreams? Who attends those township meetings? Is it you, Commissioner Scott?
No. Not like,
Commissioner Simmons?
that's,
Anything is, must be Commissioner. The Field of Dreams property we were talking about.
Yeah, letting West Branch Township operate that thing is the last I remember what we're talking about.
It hasn't been discussed at the township meetings.
Oh, they're waiting on us.
Okay, so how about if we put that on the next committee of the whole, so we make sure we continue to address it?
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
Do you have any questions, information that we need to gather beforehand?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. Field of Dreams out there right now. And there's a committee that operates that, isn't there?
It's a volunteer
Field of
base.
Dreams,
They
yeah.
came, they came in,
yeah,
talked to us.
yeah.
There's a contractor that goes out there and turns the water on at a certain point and doesn't turn it on too soon, so it doesn't freeze again. You know, you break the pipes and stuff. So, but that's all been with this committee that operates that thing right now. But West Branch Township would like to operate it.
They'd like to own it.
Own it.
We own it currently, not operate it, to own it. Correct, Commissioner Simmons?
Do we own that property?
Yes.
Yeah, we own the property. It's on
These-
lease to the, it's on lease to the Ogemaw recreation.
Yes. These are the
Okay.
two properties we've discussed together, that
Okay.
property and the high banks.
Okay, got it.
And who's currently maintaining them?
The Ogemaw Hills Recreation.
I don't, they came in and spoke to us. I
Yeah.
don't know.
They're just like a group they formed to
Yes,
maintain it.
yes. Yes,
They work tight with West Branch Township.
and they're in, West Branch Championships have voiced interest. They would like to
They'd
take
like-
over ownership.
To own it.
And Commissioner Scott has brought up exchanging the campground
Yeah,
or
right, because the campground, the RV park
RV park.
is really West Branch Township, it's ownership. We have a 100-year lease with it.
Hmm.
We got about, I don't know, 60 years left or something. 40 years left, I don't know. That, when it gets done, I'll let you know.
So do you want to find out more information on that, or do you have a township, when's your next township meeting? Do we have another committee of the whole between now and then?
Yes.
Yeah, they just
Okay.
had one, I think.
Okay. Anything, any questions on that, Commissioner Simmons?
Not any.
Item G, ARPA funds for EDC geocache. Is that you as well, Commissioner Wilson?
Yeah, I asked Kelly to put that on a couple days ago, so.
You had the floor.
Excellent. So, you know, when we had Heather and the other lady, can't remember her name.
Vicky.
She was presenting Roscommon, correct?
No,
Ogemaw.
he lives here.
But I thought she works with the Roscommon.
all
Anyways,
work.
They were-
okay, so when they came here, you know, they told us what was going on, and I think we all were pretty intrigued by it. It's really new to a lot of us. And the thing that I really look at it is, you know, it's outside the box thinking. It's the type of thinking and thought processes that we need as a county to be able to bring new people around. Whether they come here and they stay a couple nights at our hotels, or they just come up for the day and go to our bars and restaurants and gas stations. But it's that type of thinking is what we need, you know, We don't have a lot of that. And that's what we need moving forward to continue to grow and prosper. So I know you had brought up the suggestion, we really can't give the West Ranch Chamber money, but if we could give the monies through the EDC, that they could give a portion possibly to the chamber for this geocaching. So I really feel that, again, what they're doing is fantastic. It is going to bring a lot of people to our area. We don't have numbers of how many people they're suggesting or whatever. We'll have a better idea in a couple of years. But by seeing, and if you spend a little time and educate yourself about geocaching, it is very, very popular, and it's really boost up some areas that had brought it into rural areas. So I think it's going to be great. And then on the flip side of that, the EDC, yes, I am on the board there now. But the EDC, again, is a great organization that was kind of mistrued, where a lot of people think, ooh, economic development, it's kind of, it kind of intimidates people. But what we're trying to do right now, and I think this is another great reason why we should help to give the EDC some money, is for example, this past Monday, we were at Mills Township and we're doing this EDC on the road. We're trying to get out there. We're trying to promote to people throughout the county that, the EDC is for all people. Somebody that wants to start a landscape company, to somebody that possibly, always thinking about moving their business up from down south. It's small and big, so we're really trying to promote ourselves to get out there so people really understand what the EDC can do in our community. And it goes again, like thinking of the geocache. It's very important stuff. It's how we're going to grow. It's how we're going to prosper. It's how we're going to bring people more money to our community, good businesses, good jobs. So I really feel that it's important that we do decide to try to give some money to the EDC from our ARPA funds.
Is there an amount that you're requesting?
Well, I know they requested, I believe it was $75,000. So I was thinking 25,000, and then also have that communication with them if they'd be willing to give a set amount that we could discuss for the geocaching venue through the chamber.
You're requesting $25,000 for the EDC to then move forward with the geocache.
Right, but only give the geocache. It's something that I'd like us to discuss, whether it be $2,500, $5,000, go towards that. The geocaching part, and the rest would be for the EDC for developing for what we're doing right now. Like I said, a lot of new things going on. I think this EDC on the road thing is a great thought, and we're not only thinking, we're doing it. So we're bringing it to our residents.
How much last year did the county contribute to the EDC?
I want to say 5,000, but I'm not positive.
Karen, do you have that number? I thought
it is 5,000.
more than that.
I think it was a
I could go
5,000.
look on my computer and go.
Can you? Do you mind?
Just.
I
I
think
thought it was a $5,000 commitment, but I'm not positive.
I'll be back.
I thought it was quite a bit more than that, but I'd rather know than make an assumption. Questions?
For me, yeah, I have a comment.
Go ahead.
Everybody's talking about spending. I've got a better idea. Why doesn't each commissioner donate so much money to this geocache? I've donated money. I've donated money to other things too. I think the DDA does a lot bringing business into here. I used to be on EDC and I didn't see a whole lot.
EDC?
Yeah.
They are. I was on there, Commissioner Wiltsey. I was on there for the last couple of years, and it is a very, very good board, a very enthusiastic board, a very variety board, a very intelligent board. They have made leaps and bounds.
And
They have a
again,
good-
Brenda, like I said, that's a big move that we're making. That's a big commitment. We're going to townships throughout the county because we feel how important this is for our residents alone to know and understand what the EDC can bring to them.
They've been doing that, but you're talking about a larger group of you are going to individual townships.
We're having board meetings at actual township halls. It's EDC on the road, we're kind of calling it.
Are they gonna contribute to the EDC, to townships?
They asked, no, are the townships contributing to the EDC? They ask every.
I know they ask every year, they ask every township to.
And do they?
What they can.
Some do, yes.
Some do, yeah. I don't know which ones or or how much, but we could find that information
Well, it
out.
seems like the talk a while back was we had to control our spending, and now it's like, let's spend the money.
We do need to talk about having another, because that information for the rating for the ARPA funds, we do need to talk about another meeting for the ARPA funds.
I
That's
mean,
kind of
we have
been
a
on the
lot to
back.
do with this building right here. That's gotta be done.
So again, I think we need to have another meeting just to discuss ARPA funds. It's been a while. I, for one, have not returned that slip, but I will. That ranking, but I will.
You haven't?
I have not.
I'll be
You told me I gotta hurry up, turn it in, I hurry up.
So,
No, we had time. It hasn't gotten brought back up. So I mean,
but maybe we need to look at the dates on that. If I know we all probably get a little busier in the summer,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we definitely need to.
can I say one more thing to Brenda's
Yes,
last
please.
comment? So Brenda, obviously me and you've had conversation. I understand the fact of us looking into LED lighting for the buildings and stuff like that, and we're gonna do that. We need to do that. But we also have to keep in mind, again, what I'm saying. Commissioner David said it as well. You know, there are some real bright minds on this. A lot of people don't understand what the EDC can do, and we're at a point now where we're really getting some momentum to get that exposure, and then it's gonna bring a lot of good things to the county.
But they were in a financial, I mean, obviously, they're always looking for more funds, but they were getting some stability financially as well when I left there. So that was good to see.
From where?
From some townships, they did some fundraisers. I don't,
Private business too can also,
I know, I mean, I think the Geo people, you know, gotta do fundraisers too. The people that were here, I know one of them is very good at that.
Karen, did you have a figure?
35,000.
I'd say I thought it was.
You think 35,000
The year
EDC?
before,
Sorry,
I
you guys.
think it was 5,000, and then remember they came and requested and you signed.
The last 2 years was 35, wasn't it?
I only looked at last year.
I think the last,
It was lower, and then they came to you and asked you to sign an agreement with them for services. So it's right now, last year's budget, September 30th, 35,000.
I think the last 2 years was 35, and then it was 5 before that, because it was just a continuation. And we didn't talk about that line item. I think it was just, yeah. Okay.
Well, I have to retract a little bit, then I apologize, because I was
No.
wrong on that. I want to make sure that we're not by no means doing anything less than what we have in the past.
They're a little more financially stable, but they are always looking.
Oh, it's looking too.
Stop it. Stop it. You did tell me that that's your commissioner, and I'll make this known, that your commissioner funds you do donate
Yes, I do.
to, well, that's impressive. Public comment. You guys want to come on up? I don't, is there any beforehand, is there any other public comment in the room? I mean, this is a quick meeting, so I'm going to give you guys the floor. I know you have some information. Is there any other public comment? Go ahead, Karen.
I just have a quick one to tell you that on Tuesday, the 23rd, from 1 to 4, I am providing a training in collaboration with the Equalization Department to all of our township treasurers and assessors. BSNA will be here in person to do some hands-on training, and we're providing manuals to our assessors and our treasurers. Screenshots with specific instructions on them, for them on how to do different procedures, because the better they are at their job, the better we are at our jobs. So
Are they all participating?
right now I have a response from 10 of my treasurers. I'm still waiting for responses from them, but I think it's going to be a well-attended and a very good training for our
What
township.
day was that again? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Tuesday, the 23rd.
This month?
Yes.
Okay.
Next Tuesday, yeah.
I
For my-
got
for the-
June on the brain for
For
some
the
reason.
townships, the township treasurers and assessors have all been invited. Yes.
In person and televised? Or
No,
primarily
it's just in person, because we are handing out material, physical binders for them to take back to their townships to use as a resource tool. So my office will be closed Tuesday afternoon for that training.
That's great.
Those in the afternoon?
Hmm?
In the afternoon and the.
Yes,
training, okay.
our office will be closed so that we can provide that training, and
Your time was what again? She didn't hear you.
That's okay. I got it.
Is this-
I've got it.
Is this something we've done before? or-
yes, I did one the year before, but this one is more in depth, and I have good material, reference materials for them to take back to the township and continue to utilize. Plus, I hired BSNA to come and provide specific training for them with the work that they do at the township with their program. That way they have a
Great.
one-on-one answers and questions session, material instructions. Yeah, it's going to be really good for them, and the better they are at their job, the easier it'll be on us, and it,
It really
Great
worked. They
collaboration.
raised my taxes.
No, it's.
Yeah, because your turnout initially wasn't that good, correct? Or was it? Was I? It was?
I believe
Okay.
so, good participation.
Well, good.
Township, and
Good.
yeah, it's gonna
Oh,
be really
that's,
good.
yeah, that's really good. Thank you for doing. that.
Any public comment on the phone? No public comment? Come on up, guys. I'll give you guys the floor.
Yeah, Mom made it.
Huh?
Mom made it.
I see her.
You just stand.
Hi. If you want to give us your name and where you're from?
Joel Saponiak, my wife Donna.
Hi, nice to meet you. You're from what township?
We are West Branch. We live on Lake Ogemaw.
Can you
spell
your last name, please?
It's long, SZCZEPANIAK.
So are you guys in Mills or Churchill?
We are in Mills.
You're in Mills.
Those township. Okay. I'm gonna give these guys a floor. Go ahead.
We were looking at a property just down the street, but the zoning on it is zoned residential and not commercial.
Agricultural.
Agriculture.
Yeah, you were looking at the old hardware right there on Ripe River Trail.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So in talking with Ryan, he said there might be an opportunity between the high banks and possibly the three properties north of there that the county owns. And he thought the county may be looking to sell those.
What's your idea of doing with the property? What is your plan?
It's a retail shop that probably primarily deals with
Canoes and
canoes and kayaks.
kayaks,
Tubes, not renting, selling. And possibly even some fishing gear,
life
things that have to do with the
jackets,
river
yeah,
and
something
like
with the river.
Ogemaw,
Yeah,
that type of thing.
Yeah, the hardware store is agricultural, is what Ryan said. So,
What's interesting, because the last time it was open, it was a hardware store.
correct, but it probably, and I asked him the same question, it probably was grandfathered in. So now there's some have come to our zoning, meetings that are zoned agriculture, trying to get it, commercial, and it hasn't that spot zoning, and that's something that our county doesn't typically do.
Yeah, so that's why he was looking for something closer to like Ogemaw where the business district is, because then he said it's easier to get that property changed to commercial because you're in a commercial district. So I don't know. I mean, I know there's the high banks portion of it plus the other three. I don't know where the property lines of each are, and a lot of it is wetland.
we wouldn't
But-
want to stop anybody from using that.
Well, that's why.
You're saying, because we would
I
never
guess that
want
was
that to
Ryan's
go
point,
away.
it's like you might even help it if your business is adjacent to it and share the same parking lot. I don't know, that was his thought. I don't know how it worked, between. I mean, we could be responsible for a lot of the maintenance of it, care of it, I don't know. I guess it would all have to do with sale prices, property taxes, and how much use of it we would use and how much everybody else could use. It's a big parking lot. I don't think I've ever seen it full, so.
You guys live right there on Lake Ogemaw?
Mhm. Our kids grew up tubing down that way.
Yeah, we like
The high bank, so yeah, I mean, we've used it, it's great. I'd hate to see it close as well.
This has been a hot topic
Mhm.
because the county owns it, and unfortunately, the county hasn't been maintaining it.
Mhm.
It's in Mills Township, and they have been voluntarily maintaining it. We just supplied the cost of the stain and that kind of thing, but that's just for, it still hasn't been being maintained. So that's why it's been a hot topic. Unfortunately, we own the property and haven't been maintaining it. So we did offer it to Mills Township, but unfortunately, they weren't interested. They would like the county to continue to maintain ownership. And I think we all as a board agree that no matter what happens to this property, to make sure that all residents have have access to it. That's extremely important. Any questions for these guys? Commissioner Scott?
No, I don't have anything right now. Maybe something in conversation will bring something up.
Commissioner Wiltie?
Not right now, but thank you for coming here tonight.
Commissioner Simmons?
The questions I'd have to ask you, I probably have to talk you out, but I don't have it yet. Can I have your phone number or whatever?
Sure,
So I
absolutely.
can talk to you.
What is your contact? Do you have a card or?
No, I'll give you my cell phone number. It's 810-240-0356.
And your first name?
Joel, Joel.
It's spelled SZCZEPANIAK.
Yeah.
And how do you pronounce that?
XYZ.
Thank you.
Pontiac.
So you guys are just in the beginning stages of this just conversation as far as this is what you would like to do?
Thank you.
Well, we
Yeah.
just moved up here, yeah. Well, we've had a cottage here, but we sold our home during COVID and moved up here permanently. And we're just too hyper to just not do something.
I hear you.
So we wanted to open something up and do something that way. And we've always loved that, the river right there. You know, we've gone there, like we said, since our kids were little, so we were really excited to.
Is there a building there now or something?
No, there's not. There's down the road, a ways down Ripe River Trail, there's an old building that I thought it used to be a bread store and then it was a lumber store. Yeah, in hardware, okay. And it's been closed for how, Nancy, you probably know, I apologize, you probably know more about that place than I
Is that
did.
where you want to be?
People that owned it.
But it's been closed for how long?
Time.
Yes,
Probably
It's-
25 years.
and it's zoned agricultural currently,
And that's where you want to be is where that building is?
originally.
Originally,
Yeah.
and then after talking to the realtor and he had us talk to Ryan. and,
Peter, yep.
So that's kind of how we got to here.
And Ryan called me to let me know that these guys were coming for one, and to let me know what was going on with that building that was being discussed.
Okay,
Okay,
okay, yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate your time.
Any other public comment? Anything, commissioners? Commissioner Scott?
No,
Commissioner Simmons?
What's the plan at the airport?
17.
June.
Back to
June 17.
You wrote it down at the
Well,
meeting.
I know there's a reason I had my head
That's
in
all right.
June.
Yep.
So June 17th, so spread the word that the fly-ins on June. 17th. And it's from 8 in the morning till about noon or so. So a lot of people go, they have candy drop for kids, and kids love it. So invite your friends and your grandma and grandpa and everybody else you want to invite. And we have hot dogs and stuff there too.
Thank you.
Pancakes. It's a pancake.
Pancakes,
breakfast.
pancakes come first.
Bring your
Have
own.
hot dogs after?
No.
We're not having hot dogs
Pancakes.
anymore.
Brenda, now you disappointed all the hot dog eaters out there.
Boy, I'm more disappointed than any of them.
Anything else? Can I have a motion to adjourn? I'll make the motion. Can I have support?
For it.
Motion adjourned at 6.
All in favor, aye.
Good night, everybody.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, yeah, thank you.